welcome back to my channel Alpha Beta Gamma, and I'm your teacher BVLP, and we want to discuss lesson 3 in static electricity. We have completed 2 lessons in static electricity, which deals with the types of charges, their magnitude, and we have discussed electric lines of force in lesson 2 also. So we are going to start lesson 3. What topics are there in lesson 3? Here we have. So we are going to discuss 3 more important points. Force between the two charges, electric field intensity of the electric field, and the relation between intensity and flux. So in lesson 2 I explained flux equals to total number of lines passing through the given area. So this is the point to be remembered to discuss the relation between intensity and the flux. So let us start the first point, force between the two charges here. Force between any two charges can be derived or can be calculated using Coulomb's inverse square law, because the scientist Coulomb's derived the force between the two charges. Now we have two charges Q1 and Q2. First, we imagine that these two charges are in vacuum. So, these two charges are in vacuum here. And distance between the two charges is R. If the two charges are opposite to each other, then there is a force of attraction between them. If the two charges are similar, like charges, then repulsive force is acting between them. Now, the question is, so on what factors the force between the two charges depend? Here we have force between the two charges depends upon the magnitude, Q1 and Q2, how, whether it is proportional or inversely proportional, we have to see. Here we have force between the two charges directly proportional to product of the two charges Q1 and Q2. This is the first factor here, and the second factor is distance. So distance, how the force depends upon the distance, it is to be noted here. It is inversely proportional to square of the distance, not simply distance, square of the distance we have to consider. So mathematically we represent force directly proportional to 1 by r square here. Then we have to take these two equation 1 and equation 2 here. When you consider these two equations and combine these two equations here, we have the next point, force directly proportional to Q1 Q2 by r square here. And again, so this is the proportionality symbol. When you remove the proportionality symbol, there should be a constant, and we have to see what is that constant here. So here we have the final equation. So the force between the two charges in the vacuum is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by r square. What is this epsilon naught? So this is permittivity. This is called permittivity of vacuum or free space. This is here. So and then here, if the two charges are kept in any other medium. So if the two charges are any other medium, means instead of air and vacuum, other than vacuum and a medium, then it is here Coulomb's inverse square law. According to that one, same formula, only the difference is here we have 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. So epsilon is permittivity of that medium here. So we don't put any naught here, 0 here. Epsilon 0 is for free space or vacuum, and epsilon for any other medium, and epsilon value depends upon the medium, what medium is chosen here. So we have to discuss that. So this is the force between two charges. Then coming to the value of permittivity of free space or vacuum, epsilon. So this permittivity has the value 8.85 multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 12. So this is the value of permittivity of free space, and the units are. So we have to discuss the units here. So the units are Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So how did you get this one? Just cross multiplying these two. When you cross multiply these two, epsilon equals to q1 q2 divided by fr square we will get. So coulombs is the charge and this is the product, so coulomb square per Newton meter square. This is the value of epsilon naught here. And then coming to a very important value here, so we will take here epsilon divided by epsilon naught. This is permittivity of the medium what we select, where we keep the two charges, and divided by epsilon naught, free space, for free space. This is the ratio of permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of free space. This ratio is constant for a given medium. So you take any medium, this ratio is constant and depends upon that nature of the medium, and this is called relative permittivity. We denote with epsilon with the prefix r here. So this relative permittivity is a constant here and it has no units and dimensions, because in this ratio both the values are permittivities here. So permittivity, relative permittivity is very important, and this is also called a dielectric constant. We will discuss this value in the chapter capacitors here. So now let us move to the next point here. The second point is intensity of the electric field. We know what is electric field. If you consider any charge, either positive or negative, then around the charge a space or a region in which the charge can attract or repel, it has the tendency or the influence to attract or repel another charge here. So it has some intensity of the electric field here. So now we are going to calculate how much intensity is developed for the given electric field. Within the electric field only intensity will be given. You can take any point here. This is the point here. And so at this point we imagine that any other charge is kept here. So this is the point P, whatever may be, you take a point P. At this point P, we place any other charge Q naught. And distance between this point and the Q given charge is R here. It depends upon the distance also again here. Now, so let us derive the equation for intensity of the electric field. So this intensity is nothing but force acting at this point P on unit charge, unit positive charge. It means what we place Q naught must be a positive charge here. So force acting per unit positive charge means force between the two charges divided by this charge Q naught here. It means force between the two charges Q and Q naught divided by Q naught. This is force acting on unit positive charge, because we have considered this Q naught as the positive charge. Remember, in second lesson I explained that all the electric field characteristics are determined with respect to unit positive charge only. Positive charge to be considered here. So this is the force acting on unit positive charge is called intensity of the electric field. Now we are going to derive the formula here. So we have a diagram here, electric field for a positive charge. Here we have the electric field here. You can take any point here. This is the point P and place a charge. Imagine that a charge Q naught, which is positive, is placed at the point P, and distance between the charge Q and Q naught is R. Or otherwise you can take a negative charge also. When you take this negative charge here, electric field is also developed here, but only the difference is for the positive charge field is outward, for the negative charge field is inwards. So even here also we can take any other point P which is at a distance R and place a Q naught value plus Q naught. Here we have the force of attraction and here we have the force of repulsion here. As it is a positive, it has force of repulsion, and as it is a negative, it has force of attraction here. Now we are going to calculate what is the force between the two charges here. So here we have the charge here. Force between the two charges Q and Q naught at a distance R is here This one here we have taken this one q, or plus or minus q, and we have taken a point here. At this point we place a q naught here, and this is r distance between the two one, and force acting between these two is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by r square here. And the second one is here intensity of electric field. Intensity of electric field, force divided by charge q naught. We have considered this charge q naught. So force between the two charges q and q naught divided by q naught is intensity of electric field. So intensity of electric field simply we called electric field. So we can call them simply electric field, and it is a vector quantity. So this is the reason why we put an arrow mark here, because it's a vector quantity. It has the direction here. For a positive value, so if you consider a positive charge, so plus q, then the intensity of electric field is away, and if you consider minus negative charge, intensity is towards the charge here. As usual, just like electric lines of force here. So electric field or intensity of electric field is a vector quantity here. So now we have force here, force equals to 1 by divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught by r square is substituted here and divided by q naught. What you will get? E equals to F divided by q naught, and we are going to derive the Newton here. Newton is the SI unit for force by Coulomb. Newton per Coulomb is the unit here for intensity of electric field. Intensity of electric field is a vector quantity. Remember, force is a vector quantity. It is between two charges. Intensity of the electric field is also a vector quantity, but it equals to force acting on unit positive charge. So this is about intensity of electric field here. So now coming to the next point here. So when you come to the next point here, we are, as I said, the final point, or we complete this lesson with a relation between flux density and E here. So we have this value E equals to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square here. So we can see here. So this is Newton per Coulomb, as I said here. So Newton per Coulomb is the unit here, and we have the flux density also. Flux density, flux divided by area, it also has Newton per Coulomb. Flux density also has the same units here. So both are having same units and same dimensions. So both flux density and intensity of electric field are numerically equal to each other. They are not qualitatively equal, just they are numerically equal to each other. So this is the reason we can write that E equals to phi divided by A here. We can write like this one, or phi by A equals to E. We can write in any way. So when you write like this here, so every vector quantity in vectors here in physics, we represent in integral form. Integral form means we take integration here. So we have the integral form of electric flux here. As I said, intensity of electric field equals to phi divided by A. We have phi divided by A equals to E. Now suppose we take the electric field like this. So this is the area of the electric field. Total area of the electric field equals to A. So this is total surface area of electric field. We divide this total surface area into small and equal parts like small element, and each part is equals to the area ds. What we have done here, we divide the total surface area into equal small parts, and as each small part has a surface area ds. Then total surface area can be written as surface integral. I have written double integration here. So surface integral ds here. So we can write that by integrating the area, surface area, then you will have total surface area. So what we have written here, instead of A, so we have written surface integral ds here. So that's what we have written here. So instead of a, surface integral ds. Then integration is taken outside, then phi equals to surface integral E dot ds. ds here, what is ds here? Surface integral. It is also a vector quantity. This is ds, surface here. So we are representing, this is also a vector quantity, and both are vector quantities. This is a dot product, scalar product of both electric field intensity and the surface area here. So this is a scalar quantity here. So phi equals to surface integral E dot ds. This is very important here. So this phi equals to surface integral, we can write like this also. Surface integral E dot ds, very important to derive Gauss law in electrostatics, integral form and differential form. So this is about the relation between two electric intensity of the field and electric flux here. So that's all for this lesson. Before completing or concluding this lesson, let us have a recap about this lesson. So force acting between the two charges is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by d square. So this is vacuum. In the vacuum, suppose they are kept in any other medium, force equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, and this is epsilon r, relative permittivity, epsilon divided by epsilon naught, and intensity of electric field here, this is equals to phi divided by a. Intensity of electric field is nothing but force acting on unit positive charge F divided by Q naught, and the relation between intensity of electric field and flux is phi equals to surface integral E dot ds. So that's all for this class. We'll meet you in the next class. Till then, I'll take a leave. So we'll meet in the lesson 4.